and welcome back to another episode of the Game 2 of podcast, episode 2. We're going to talk about the Champions League tonight. You know, a lot of amazing performances, individual and team performances overall. Lots of goals to discuss, and players to discuss as well. You know, been a really good game week. I thought there were individual performances. You know, Kylian Mbappe, Haaland, Kabak again. You know, outstanding from him.
He played well, I thought.
He did. I'm not saying that he didn't, mate. I thought it was a good performance. Really good performance from him. Fed gets started on PSG v Barca. You know, that wasn't a good game, was it, Fed? Really awful.
Alright, I'm going to cut you off there. Right, perfect game. Absolute joy to watch. Such an exciting game of football. Eyes were glued to the screen throughout the 90 minutes, and wow. What a game of football. Anyway, hat-trick coming from Kylian Mbappe and 1 goal from Moise Kean. I'm going to touch on Moise Kean quickly. Wow, how his life's changed.
Italian born and bred.
Yeah, fond of him. Huge player. Really exciting prospect. Obviously came through from Juventus. Very hyped. Went to Everton. Struggled at Everton in his first season there. And then he got sent out on loan to PSG, where he's really setting the world alight. Because he's putting out some great performances. Obviously bagged a goal yesterday.
It's hard to believe that he's still an Everton player.
Because
we're just,
exactly.
Everton and PSG don't really, ever cross paths that often.
Yeah,
but we
exactly.
just don't remember that. I don't know his contract clause. If there is a buyout.
There is a buyout, and I think PSG.
You've got to think now.
You've got.
Where's he on loan from?
Everton.
He's still at Everton.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to
you wouldn't have thought that. So
do you think Fed? You think he's a player that keep him in Ligue 1 or send him back to the
definitely. If I was PSG,
but it's if you were Everton.
Okay. Well, to be honest, they've got the option to buy. So if PSG, it's sort of in their hands if they want to consider it. So that's the situation.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on? Talking about Moise Kean, I think no one really expected a hat trick from anyone on the night. Maybe Messi.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was kind of like, PSG, no Neymar,
Mbappe,
but he, effectively single-handedly,
turned up.
He turned up and he drawn the gap between, a 1-1 and now a 4-1. So obviously Barcelona have got a absolute mountain to climb in Paris, but as we know in the past, that Barca can do it.
Exactly.
On a cold, wet, rainy night in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain from a large scoreline. So I think it'll be interesting.
I'm actually going to take that question to me for a second, because if I'm being honest, certainly from my past experiences with watching Mbappe, if I'm being honest, I think we all have to be. How much of the French league we actually watch? Not that much. Obviously, we see on social media, he scores every now and then. But obviously, on the big occasions, I watched him I think 7 or 8 times, and so far, previously, he hadn't turned up. He had the Champions League final to turn up in, had chances, didn't turn up. Again, obviously that comes from maturity, because we always forget that he is still very, very young and has got so much more to prove. But however, last night he sat any doubters down, and that was one of the best individual performers from a under 23 player I think I've seen maybe all time.
I think
definitely.
Talk about the strides that PSG have made against Barcelona and what Mbappe has done. But you look at the flip side, Barcelona. What's happened to them? 5 years ago, they would crush PSG in this one. They had their players like Messi and Suarez. They've lost all of them, and it feels like Messi. He doesn't have that smile on his face that everyone's used to seeing. I think, Fed, what do you think about that one?
To be honest, I was so surprised with that PSG performance, considering Neymar was out. What you said, no one would have thought that they would have come out there and played the way they did. So, congrats to them for that. Yeah, maybe it's the Pochettino effect. Who knows? But you said. What is going on at Barcelona? You've really got to.
It's funny because I don't think that, obviously, bar Xavi and Iniesta.
I would just say, I don't think Ronald Koeman was the right man for the job. Definitely.
He failed at Everton and Southampton.
Exactly.
He hasn't proven yet. Obviously came from the Holland job, you know, he scrapped that. But it's tough because apart from Xavi and Iniesta, and obviously, you know, Neymar and now Suarez, the team hasn't really changed. They still have Alba, PK, Ter Stegen. They still have Busquets and Messi. You know, that's like 6 or 7 players there that they still have. However, you really have got to think now, just at the pace of the modern game, are they past it? That's my question.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
you watched Busquets last night. He was getting beaten, just humiliated.
I think it's
PK humiliated.
I think it's also about though. I think it's about, you know, kind of like what you're kind of. It's not like your personal life, but it's how much you're actually enjoying playing football there now. I think the kind of the mentality of Barcelona is we go to the Champions League, we make the final, we either win it or, you know, unlucky. We go out, we come again, we win the La Liga, we win that. Barcelona are now in a spot where they're like, crap, we're not the best team in the world anymore.
Exactly.
We're not.
And they're not used to that.
It's a fact, and they're not used to it. They're not used to it. Players like Busquets, PK, Alba, Messi's probably standing around there like, what am I watching?
I think Messi's face shows a lot.
Messi's face shows everything, and also
happy.
his body language. He's walking around the pitch, and I'm watching videos the next day of like, you know, compilations of Neymar and Suarez and Messi, and you can just see the facial expressions of them
of course,
when they're playing football
so
together.
Different.
So my answer to your question is, I think the players have kind of come to the reality, and I don't think they're used to it. It's just like, oh crap, guys, like, you know, PSG have just smacked us 4-1 at home. That wouldn't have happened 3 years ago. You know, that wouldn't have happened. We would have had better players to cope with it. But we don't anymore. And you know, players like Busquets, it goes 2-1, they've given up. Messi, it goes 2-1, it looks like he's given up.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Arsenal. Sometimes I'm like, you know, doesn't that the players want to fight for the badge that's been incredibly, you know, it's been incredible. The legacy is unbelievable. And now they're losing it.
Yeah.
They're losing the legacy. They're losing the legacy of
They're in
Barcelona.
such a big hole right now, and it's going to take a lot of time and maybe even a lot of money to get out of that hole. But then, I say a lot of money, their recruitment has been horrible. Like, bringing in Griezmann 110 odd million.
Yeah, but you say that, Griezmann, his name is Griezmann, like Antoine Griezmann.
No, but it's everything. Guzman Dembele as well, 120 million.
That's something you probably want to talk about. But
it's.
I think we want to probably move on from the bit. We want to spend time.
Yeah, that is true.
Jamie, did you have one more thing to say? You sound like you were learning something up there. Or do you want to say it?
No, but the thing is, I'm saying that if we're looking even just quickly on the old tangent, if we're looking towards La Liga and how actually, even though Suarez left, he's tearing up at
Atletico. Yeah, there you go.
Real and Barca are like 12 points off the top. I mean, when you know, this has never happened. You know, for so many years it's been Barca and Real tussling to the top. Now, honestly, Barca and Real have dropped points to the equivalent of like Burnley and like Fulham, you know, but I mean, week in, week out. I mean,
that's what I think. I mean, like, it's those decisions that they make, like their board, like the backroom team.
I think you made a great point there.
I think it's that. It's all that because
I think you make the
those
point
are those silly decisions.
Yeah, I think it's, as we learned from Chelsea recently with the Lampard stacking. You want a Premier League football club. I mean, not Premier League, just a football club in general, just to be have no problems. Right now at Barca, all the leaked debts they have. There was a leak that that they were £1 billion in debt. But you know, there's also that Messi issue and the board issue. There's so many issues at the club, and Koeman has almost been thrown around the bus.
I want to go on to the next bit. I just want to bring up this point that it goes so under the radar, but. You have to, when you see performances on the pitch like that, and I can really I can back that point with Arsenal because we went through a patch November to December through October as well, where we January, February,
March, it hasn't happened yet. It's predicting for the future.
Yeah, as an Arsenal fan, I'm used to that. But there was a space where we didn't score a goal in about 700 games, and I said 700 minutes. But I think you have to look at this. You know, everyone seems and they go like this: crap performance on the pitch. Here's 3 things, or maybe 2 things that really affect how the team's performing. People's personal life, which actually, you know, when you look at that, and I was talking to someone who said this. Hakan Çalhanoğlu at AC Milan. Yeah. He had something. I think he had like a problem with his family. I don't know anything specific, but he had something with maybe his wife or something, and
Yeah.
or his girlfriend
Yeah.
or his family.
I mean, my wife and my girlfriend.
It was
No,
all-
but
it was-
it
it was all going wrong for him at the time, and apparently, you know, with the challenge, you know, it's like a personal thing. You perform well, you perform well on the pitch, and some people will be like, oh yeah, just because of his talent, because of his skill. That might not be it. It could be half talent, half skill, obviously, but then it could also be, you know, what's going on in his life. What's going on in his life? Is it well? Is it in good shape, or is it in bad shape? And that reflects in your performance on the pitch, and that might be happening with Barca and their individuals like Messi. We don't know, but you know, you can assume. But it could be a fact that, you know, it's either that or it's just a fact that, crap guys, like we're not the best team in the world, and that might be hitting them harder than expected. We'll move on to the Liverpool game swiftly. Obviously we were talking about before the game.
I said before the game. I was getting that already.
We did. You know, repetition is good music.
Poetry.
Oh, it is. It is good, to be fair.
Yeah.
You're older.
Poetic technique.
Poetic technique.
Right. I think
we've got
last night you raised a very good point, because at the minute, due to obviously the COVID rules, not every team can host the game at their stadium. As an example, last night Leipzig were playing in Hungary, and the fact that, you know, there's still the away goal rule, they've not played ever a game in that stadium, and it's just, you know, is it fair?
I don't think it's fair at all. You cannot have that away goal rule at a stadium. It just baffles me. It baffles me. You know, you've never played at the stadium and then you're home. Like, I don't get it.
Unless we don't know. I think the last time I saw, they have the away goal in place.
Yeah.
But you've got, but here's the factors. Leipzig aren't at their stadium and they don't have any fans. And fans affect an away goal rule. I think genuinely, when UEFA probably made that rule, they were like, well, if you go to Bayern Munich as a team like Arsenal, right, you're going to get like tormented by the fans. Like, they're going to mean you had the whole game, and that comes in the fact that when you score an away goal, it's big, it's massive, it's a massive goal. But Leipzig are not on a ground they're used to playing in, which is big, you know. That's why teams succeed, because, you know, the dimensions, whatever, they can play to their tactics.
Yeah.
And then secondly, it's they don't have any of their fans.
Yeah.
Liverpool get to play at Anfield, which I know it has half of the factors. They don't have their fans, which is obviously a big part of Anfield, but they have their dimensions. They know what they can do on that pitch.
Right, Fred, I've got a question for you. So last night, we were speaking about how Julian Nagelsmann, their manager, is very tactically, you know, superb and very strong. You know, proved that last year in both Bundesliga and the Champions League. To start, he didn't put out any forwards last night. Even though there were, you know, certain players playing further forward, you know, they had Nkunku and Omo playing further forward, you know, very, very bright players for the future. But still, they weren't natural attackers. And do you think that was a big issue for them?
Definitely. Of course, if you don't have natural attackers, you're going to be short of goals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a given.
Yeah, because on the bench they had like Paulson and Huang Wei-Chan and Slorlov.
They actually brought on Huang Yi-Chan later in the game.
He had a chance, by the way. He did a chance.
He did. So, I don't know, you can say, oh, it's tactical masterclass, but was it? Because they ended up losing 2-0.
They also lost. They also conceded 2 goals off mistakes.
And it's funny,
exactly.
And it's funny you say that, because you think, right, Leipzig, you know, not playing any attackers will be so tactically superb and so defensively strong. Both their mistakes are from, you know, from stupid errors at the back. Yeah. You know, first one was Sabitzer, obviously not a defender, but you know, he plays in quite deep.
Actually, and Nkunku had to play the more attacking role in that game.
It also proves that, you know, you send Salah or Mane through on goal. Yeah. They're not going to miss.
Exactly. Just such.
It back to the point where form is temporary and
class is actually permanent. Just like ink on a something. Nice one. Brilliant.
Anyway,
so again, it was great Liverpool, you know, to come
really good
to kind of, you know, bounce back from their recent woes, as we can all
I'm sure,
as we all know about.
I'm sure Klopp will
be very right.
I like to say this though.
Also, confidence. You know, they'll bring that into the Premier League and hopefully maybe get some results going and get back on their regular pattern they were in prior to their lack of form, but bad run of form.
I'd like to also say this. Leipzig aren't out of this tie at all. We know they're not out. 2 goals, you can do that. And especially the form that, you know, Liverpool don't get to listen to You'll Never Walk Alone.
I think it'd be a great game
before that game. I think Leipzig will go for it. We know they can score goals. They have attacking players. You know, I think Angelino can go forward for them really well.
Yeah, good player. Really.
And, you know, they've got a lot of attacking options that can come to Anfield and can put in a performance worthy of.
Currently,
it's definitely not over. Definitely not over. Yeah.
Right, so I think that bases off of Tuesday's fixtures, and then tonight.
Moving on to Wednesday.
I mean, once again, we thought tonight was a more boring night, but however, just it's Champions League.
Not fail to impress.
It is amazing. You know, we had both the screens on.
Should we go for that one first?
Porto Juventus, first minute, Bentancur.
Horrible error.
And you can't be making this at this level in the Champions League round of 16. Not even on a Sunday league can you do that. That was is. I've seen this. I watched Bentancur play a few times now, and he is not a solid midfielder. And you think, you know, this is an established Juventus side trying to push, you know, for like finals and titles. He's not their solution, Bentancur. He loses the ball in the first minute. Porto take their chance clinically, and Juve are 1-0 down from the first minute onwards. Then, I mean, honestly, throughout the first half, Juve was so static. Yeah. You know, just no intensity in the play. I mean, it was so pass and then wait 10 seconds. I mean, no movement off the ball. Yeah. And I think that was worrying. And to be honest, if I'm looking back now at the result and thinking, right, 2-1, Juve were let off the hook in that game. Yeah. Porto could have easily made that 3-4-0.
I think you have to. Sorry, Jamie. You want
to? Taremi was actually through on goal, and Alexandra had to.
I think one thing you have to say maybe for Juventus is experience. You know, lots of young players in there. And here's a stat for you. Tonight, Juventus have named their youngest starting 11 in the UEFA Champions League knockout match since 1998.
Yeah,
I think that shows. Yeah. You can go to anyone in the Champions League and get smashed.
I think that compares to the experience of Pirlo though, because I think it's him and Lampard.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree.
Yeah. And Arteta, he's playing the young players now. Mm-hmm. You know.
I think what they're doing is they're sort of changing their philosophy. They're known as the old lady. Yeah. So so their average score age is so high. It always has been. Yeah. Obviously, you've got an aging Giorgio Chiellini, a Ronaldo in there, Bonucci, and now they're sort of changing things up. So positive changes, positive impacts won't happen. They won't happen overnight. You're gonna hit some rough patches. They lost to Napoli last week, so maybe this.
Jamie, this could be Juventus don't succeed here. You think it might be Ronaldo's final year?
I think we look at that, but you know, Juve have had obviously the last few managers. You know, thinking back to Sarri and then Allegri. Juve, I think, have got a similar board scenario to Chelsea. If you don't win the league, you're gonna get sacked. And even though like last year, Sarri won the league, he still got sacked.
He did?
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, but you
Sarri, not Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't the greatest, not compared to Allegri.
Love the nicotine as well.
Yeah.
Always want to get in the games.
I mean, I personally think bringing in Pirlo was a wrong decision. Definitely the wrong decision.
I think they'll stick with him though.
Because they'll stick with him. They'll stick with him. Obviously, club legends as well. They will stick with him. I have no doubt about that. But you're bringing in someone who had no managerial experience,
zero.
Not even at a youth level. You brought him right into the equation. And of course, you can't expect a Champions League under him.
Yeah,
that's unrealistic. That's being unrealistic. Serie A slipping away from them. You know.
You look at it this way, right? Porto played well. I feel like the goals they scored were so preventable. You know, I mean, first one was a mistake. It's a mistake. Second one, looking at that goal, you gotta ask questions of just
De Ligt.
I
think De Ligt should have stayed an extra year at Ajax. I didn't feel like he was ready yet because don't get us wrong. I think he's had a very, very solid start.
Okay,
alright, calm down. Right, but it's a strange one because if I'm thinking this Porto team, actually, you know what? I think they looked too much at Juve here. I mean, Porto deserve credit. I thought they were superb tonight. I mean, I think they're going home now and thinking, right, 2-1 to us. that's not good enough. I mean,
Yeah, depends on
I
what
mean,
they did.
I think before the night, shit, 2-1, I'll snatch that off
Take
you.
that,
I'll
yeah.
take it out.
Well, here's the thing.
Take it off you.
I wonder what Porto's mindset is right now. Did they go in the changing rooms, play Portuguese music, and start dancing in circles, or did they, boys, next game?
Yeah, no.
Come on,
That's
Not done
And
yet.
it's a very changed Porto side from from my experiences last year. I was at the game. I mean, not the away game, but away Rangers played them in the Europa League last year and got a 1-1 draw away. Played some of our best football ever, and then at the home return leg, we beat them 2-0 in the group stages. 2-0 against the Porto team, and now Juve are struggling. I mean, is it because Rangers are better than Juve, or is it because a change in management at Porto and a change in philosophy, because they're playing so different now.
Yeah.
They've got rid of Telles, for a big money move to to England, and I thought like they were superb.
Porto were
They
really
were
good,
play
yeah.
on that pitch that I didn't
should be
feel
happy
like
with
they
that.
100%.
I
thought they were
result,
superb tonight.
but they
Thought they were really good.
they sort of braved the beast. I mean, before coming into this game, who would have thought? As you said, who would have thought Porto would have won the game?
Do you think Porto can turn it around? They can not turn it around. Do you think Juventus can turn it around?
I definitely think they can, because that
They
one
can.
away goal means everything. That one away goal means they can go that next game and grab one goal, and then that's their time.
Actually, Fred, I've got a question for you, because tonight Morata and Dybala were both benched, and I think Dybala has had a reoccurring scenario at Juve of sitting on the bench. However, there's really not been any serious hints about him moving and changing club, but he feels like he's happy to sit on the bench there. But I feel like he's a world-class player, and I've no idea why he's not starting.
I don't understand. It's not like he's out of favour there. I think he's such an important part of that team.
He's so important.
Yeah, exactly.
He's world-class.
You talk about Juventus, and the first few names that spring to mind, you got Ronaldo,
Dybala's up there, and I think he should start. Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, the fact that him, Bernardeschi as well,
yeah, he's a
good player. Morata was on the bench as well, who's been a reliable source of goals for them. Things like that. Then because of that, you got to question Pirlo. That's why a lot of people are skeptical about
right.
it.
We've been looking at the young talents of Mbappe from last night, but switch over on a 3-hour plane journey to Dortmund.
3 hours.
Erling Haaland. It's just a guess. I don't do maths.
I don't think it's serious.
Right. Erling Haaland. How good was he tonight?
Wow.
Brilliant. He's so clinical. That's the thing. I think the word to describe him is clinical and also reliable. Royce knew. I said the moment Royce won that ball. Remember, I think I said
he did.
the moment Royce won that ball up the field for the third goal. I knew it was a goal because you look at the shape and you see Haaland. You see that like Sancho, Haaland, Royce, which by the way is such a good attack.
Yeah.
And you see that little bit of space that Haaland can run into. He's fast enough to make the overlap, and bang, you give it to him. He will not miss, and that's why he's a reliable striker.
Yeah.
He's also incredible, and he's
Golden
clinical.
boy as well.
I think on that note,
2020.
it's great to mention how happy for the minute we are that Royce is back playing football and he's fit. Because, as we all know from history, and injuries are something that really aren't avoidable sometimes. And Marco Royce has been one of those players where you think, if only he hadn't been injured so many times, because he spent so many months on the sideline, in rehab. And it's good to finally see him back for now, but we hope he can continue his form. He was kind of playing a more wide right role today, and Sancho kind of went both wings. But
I'd like to mention Sancho.
Sancho, I thought today
Brilliant
was
performance.
one of the best
England squad.
Really, showed his worth. I mean, people are putting that 100 million price tag.
And on that note, Fed, I must ask you a question. You are Gareth Southgate right now, and you have to pick. England are playing France in the final of the Euros.
Yeah.
You have to play one left winger. No. Play two wingers between Grealish, Sterling, Rashford, and Sancho. Two of the four. Who are you playing?
So Grealish, Sterling, Rashford, Sancho.
Yeah. Southgate has these issues at the minute. I mean, good issues, but they are issues.
Yeah. I mean, the England squad there is looking incredible.
Unreal.
Yeah,
We
unreal.
can do that soon.
Seeing all those youngsters breaking through.
I mean, Scotland have got
I would personally say, I would personally say Grealish and Sancho.
You're playing Grealish over Rashford and Sterling.
Over Rashford.
Actually,
wow.
No.
Never
heard it here first, boys.
Never heard a statement since the.
I play Grealish in that cam position. I prefer him in that cam position.
In the cam position, but just depends on what guy Southgate.
Yeah. Also, there's Phil Foden as well.
And to be honest, we know Southgate. If they're playing France or if they're playing Moldova, Southgate will still play a back five with 3 defensive midfielders.
And then Mason Mount in there.
And Mason Mount.
He's still the one. Still turns me on.
Yeah.
Actually, Gareth Southgate will not play Grealish, so take that back. Anyway.
Because I think
how important do you think that second goal tonight for Sevilla was? You think it?
Yeah.
You think it was big?
So
I
important.
think you make a good point there. Really good point.
Because now it's
I
actually in reach.
You got to think about this. You're 3-1 up. You're 3-1 up, right? At like PSG for the same case. PSG 3-1 up. They didn't take their foot off the gas. I felt like Dortmund were kind of like 3-1 away at Sevilla. Boys, we're taking this.
Yeah.
Goal comes in. It's napping. They're sleeping, and they get caught out, and there's an instant goal, and now the tie is back on. Fred, what do you think? Second goal's big.
Yeah, such a huge second goal. I like to mention Oscar Rodriguez. He came off the bench and instant impact with a lovely flighted ball over into Luke de Jong, who put it away very nicely.
Yeah,
so that goal means a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
We learned a lot about de Jong, not only from his time in the Prem a few years back, but also from last year's campaign in the Europa League. Scoring in the finals, semis.
He loves it. I'll tell you what.
I'll double check that.
I think he played for Newcastle. I think he did. Right. Yeah.
Just keep talking,
But anyway, I mean, he loves a goal from a set piece, and that's huge. But Sevilla's defending looked very dodgy today.
Yeah.
Really dodgy. I mean, Koundé, obviously an incredible player. Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Back on track with the stats now.
Right. And then obviously he's going to spend 5 years at PSV,
and then he moves to Sevilla, right?
Yeah. Alright, well that was Champions League. Been a really good week. I think to end it we can discuss about Man City. I mean, they're really running away with it. Double game week.
17 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Mahrez enjoys it. Mahrez again does enjoy a trip to the blue side of Merseyside.
I think me and you mentioned a couple of weeks back. I remember having a chat about it. If we're thinking back to the 17-18 season, Centurions as they were called, and what was the key to their success? Obviously, company was obviously one of the main answers, and Aguero's fitness. Also, we mentioned Sane, who left, and we also mentioned how Bernardo Silva was also a massive part of that. And I mean, certainly towards the end of last year, and the first, up until Christmas, I'd say, even January of this season so far, his form had really dipped. Yeah. But I think I'm watching him. He played you guys, Arsenal, in the Carabao Cup,
of course he did,
quarterfinals, and I thought he was horrific. I must say that because obviously what I'm used to seeing him play, I thought it was just definitely a few steps down. But however, he's gone. He's gone home, worked on this game, and he's come back he's scoring all the time now. He's playing well. Tonight Mahrez and Bernardo Silva got the 2 goals from the
and it's amazing
off
to
the
see
right.
Because Man City name is like the oil club, or when they play someone else, like the
Abu Dhabi.
The Abu Dhabi.
Newcastle away.
It's brilliant, but I think when like 2 years ago you were like, the reason this is happening is because they have so much squad depth. They've got Aguero, De Bruyne, but you look at this team on paper now, City, and you're kind of like you look at it and let's say you look at it and you don't know much about football. You look at it and you only follow a different league. You'd be like, no, Man United could beat them, Liverpool could easily beat them, Arsenal could beat them, Chelsea could beat them.
Yeah.
But I think what Pep Guardiola has installed into this team and their philosophy is so amazing, and just proves he is one of the best managers in world football at the moment. Because I mean, you can see what they're doing. Like, they've got injuries, not like they don't. I know Liverpool have been harder.
Also,
that overshadowed you right there.
They've got Aguero,
yeah.
everyone. They've
tactically
been
as well.
hit, and tactically they've been brilliant. Obviously players like Foden, who again scored tonight.
I think it comes from the defence, by the way.
He's
I
been brilliant.
I think
the defence has been so solid. But yeah,
Ruben Diaz
again,
being
And
3 points for City tonight. So.
And John Stones is playing well. And now Zinchenko is playing left back for a start.
Yeah.
I love Zinchenko because obviously
good player.
he was, a maiden midfielder back in, Kiev. But I really think now he fits back in this left back because Guardiola wants a playing fullback. He doesn't really care about the pace, or defending. He wants a playing left back because City's philosophy is spending so much time on the ball, and Zinchenko offers everything really. He can tackle, but also his passing is superb.
Modern day
his
fullback.
knowledge, exactly, a modern day fullback.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Good. I mean, again, there's not a lot to talk about. City just they just do every week.
But Everton we can look at because they've been a really we're thinking back to October. October, DCL and everyone.
I actually,
they were like first.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can mention something because, I mean, I don't think Everton are a bad team at all, and they have a lot of good players. I mean, and that's been shown this season. But I've got to say, like, I was talking to the boys, and I was like, you know what, guys, I've got a sense of kind of optimism before Sunday. Who we're playing City at 4:30. If anyone didn't know, a big game. And I was saying to everyone, I was like, oh, boys, I think Arteta knows how to turn up in these big games. But I look at one, the way City pass the ball, and then two, their defence.
Yeah.
Who's going to step up for Arsenal on
I think
Sunday?
going for a tough.
I don't know, and I know it got portrayed back in December when we got spanked by them 4-1. But we're playing better, and I was confident. But now watching them tonight and kind of realising what we're kind of up against, I rethink my decision. And we're in for a tough one.
And then I think quickly we should go mention. We had a relegation battle match earlier today between Burnley and Fulham. A 1-1 draw.
Both teams will take that.
Fulham will be kicking themselves.
Really?
Yesterday we mentioned on the podcast that Fulham and West Brom and Sheffield don't care if they lose to City or Chelsea or United. They have to beat their competitors. Burnley are slightly above them, currently 15th in the league. Fulham had to win the game. I think that they're like 8 points behind Brighton now, and Brighton have games in hand. I think, honestly, I can see this being the easiest and most confirmed relegation battle I think ever.
I think Fulham have showed like such signs of class and
some great young talent,
really good quality football.
However, there's no experience in that. I mean, we often overshadow a mix between.
There you go. Like they've got some really promising players in there. If you look at individuals and the way they play as a team is actually quite good. But they've had a lot of draws. Like that's the thing with Fulham, just too many draws.
Lucky in my opinion.
Yeah.
Their results just haven't gone their way. I thought United did.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Chelsea.
They're picking up some form now, though. I mean,
the record.
yeah.
Because the thing is, I thought ask you, Fed, do you believe in a good balance between having experience and very young, promising future? Because I think Fulham
Definitely
really have just only. I don't think I can name one experienced player apart from the goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Any more on that? Any elaboration?
Well, yeah, you look at that Fulham side, it's just, you got Lookman and Guisa, all these young players, Josh Maja now, Areola, who's not even actually experienced. There's so much potential.
How did he end up there, by the way?
Yeah.
Madrid, PSG, now Fulham, exactly. But also,
Lookman
Kenny Tete, right back at Leon. He started in the quarterfinals last year.
Semi-finals, I think.
So like, as well.
I don't know. It's really confusing because like if you have some players in that Fulham team who've done it all, won a couple titles, trophies, then you could be looking at a solid mid-table side. Like I think that's what I'm trying to say. And also maybe Scott Parker as well. Do you think he's a problem?
No. They'll step by Scott Parker. They had him 2 years ago.
I actually never thought Scott Parker was a player, and I just remembered he played for
Chelsea
Spurs.
legend.
Yeah.
Chelsea legend, yeah.
Really? Chelsea legend, yeah, played for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And West Ham.
Yeah, but I think
nice.
If we're being honest here, unless Fulham or West Brom or Sheffield really in the next 3 weeks have 3-4 wins on the bounce, I think we're going to really be in for people being relegated by.
I think I want to end it off with one score prediction for this weekend. We haven't talked about the game. We won't talk into much depth, but score predictions for the Milan derby on Sunday to end it off. Federico,
wow.
We'll save the best till last. There you go, mate. We'll save
you guys
the last.
go.
Just 2 minutes.
No.
2 minutes on the Europa League.
Big night tomorrow for us boys, especially for Sam and his football teams. And also, I guess mine.
Benfica, what is it? I don't even know if it's home or away.
Yeah.
We're in Rome and then we're in Greece. That's just
You're away.
We're away tomorrow to Benfica. Hopefully we win. I hate watching Europa League football, especially in round of 32.
And then Fed, actually, I must ask you, you are playing.
We're playing Red Star
Belgrade.
And we're playing all the way.
You should be so grateful that there were no fans in that game.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
Fed, but I must ask you,
in Serbia all the way.
If you were Andrea Pirlo right now, knowing you have the Milan derby on. Yes.
Get that on the Instagram, by the way.
Stefano Pirlo.
Stefano Pioli. So I'm saying, knowing that you have the Milan derby on Sunday, it's all gone quiet over there. It's all gone out.
Yeah.
So knowing you're Stefano Pioli, and on Sunday you have the Milan derby, do you make any rotations, any tactical? Because if we're looking, you can't actually afford to lose the game tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's very important that you progress, but it's also very important that you have some players fit for Sunday to go and also be
Purely came out and said in his conference thing, he said that there's going to be a lot of rotation, like a lot of rotation.
I mean, we have Inter on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd expect players like Brahim Diaz and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe Mate might start even. Stuff like that. And also Salamanca's as well. So
okay.
Wait. So they might start because we need to save our best for that Sunday game.
And predictions for the away leg?
I'm going to 3-1 Milan.
Confident?
I'll go 2-0 Milan. 2-0.
I agree with you. Leicester also in action tomorrow night against Slavia Prague, who did face Celtic in the group stages. And actually did beat them both times, which is pretty embarrassing for Celtic because they didn't look a great team. I think Leicester and Brendan Rodgers have got the experience and talent enough to get through to them. I'm going to say it's in Russia the first, or Czech Republic, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Czech Republic.
Where they play, Prague, Czech Republic captain. Oh, global location, do you remember that? Prague. I think Leicester will win 3-0 goals from Ian Acho, and it's a win hopefully, and Madison. Your thoughts on Leicester tomorrow? Do you think it'll be comfortable?
I think it'll be it should be a comfortable win.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Yeah.
And to wrap it off, as I'm sure you're a bit confused on what I'm wearing, just to come close to the camera, I'm wearing a retro Rangers jersey.
I didn't do my score prediction in the Arsenal game, so before that, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say the score prediction. I reckon Arsenal away at Benfica. They got Grimaldo, packed him a couple of days.
Did pack him.
Jamie packed Ruben Diaz, which is quite a sad day for me personally. What was a sad day? I'm gonna go down the lane of a 2.
Why not lane?
Oh god, I hate that. I'm gonna say 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Wow.
I reckon the centre backs can keep a clean sheet tomorrow. And I reckon we can come away with the win. Hopefully we don't pull off an Olympiacos like last year.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
1-1. Alright, and then Glasgow Rangers.
I'll link into that because Rangers have previously faced Benfica in the earlier stages, and the away leg we were, by far the underdogs. We could see the first in the first minute without touching the ball, and however from there we did manage to get a 3-3 draw, even though we were 3-1 up in the 83rd minute, which is obviously unfortunate. And then even in the home leg, we were winning 2-0 in the 83rd minute, and we bottled that again. But I think
bottle drops, a lot of them.
I think Arsenal will get through Benfica. I think at the back they have Otamendi and Vertonghen, and I think it just screams mistakes. So I think despite this, Arsenal will have enough willpower to get past Benfica in Portugal. Even though Benfica do have exciting players up front, such as Everton Suarez, Brazilian, and Rafa. I mean, obviously, list goes on. I mean, he's not exciting, mate. Yeah. He's past it.
Past his prime.
I have to say, past the present, maybe for the top time, maybe. And then now on to Rangers. We're playing tomorrow away in Belgium away at a team called Royal Antwerp. Antwerp did beat Spurs earlier in the competition at home, which is obviously considered a shock performance. And they do have, obviously, as we all know, Kevin Morales. Ex-Everton player, ex-Belgium, whose career didn't really take off as well as probably should have done. You know, he was pretty exciting about 4 or 5 years ago.
Very exciting prospect,
And David Moyes, he was looking to be the next big thing in Belgium. However, you know, not every player does take off like that. But Rangers, we always somehow manage to do it in Europe. I mean, we always play very, very well because I think it's tough to prepare for Europe because we're playing teams like St Mirren, St Johnstone in the league and Motherwell, and we have the ball the whole time. However, you put that around to Europe. We play much more defensive, much more tactically because the thing is in the league we are so much so many attacks the whole time, but in Europe there's only that 2 or 3 attacks that that.
That's the thing with the SPFL.
Exactly.
Like, lack of money maybe leads to that.
Yeah. It does.
It does. A lot of people say just Celtic and Rangers, and that's really understandable.
It is because we can't prepare for Royal Antwerp by playing St Johnstone and Ross County.
Exactly. You'll get a shock. Actually, if anything.
It's almost like a different sport. I think at some points because it's just so different the nature of both play styles. But I do think Rangers tomorrow will get the job done. Hopefully, it's just by. I mean, I want to say 2-1 Rangers away, 2 away goals, back to Ibrox for next week. And I think the league is certainly ours now. I think Celtic, obviously, even though they have no Europe, I think there's now no time for them to go and turn it around. And I think that's gonna be it for today, boys. I think it was quite a good podcast for today.
Yeah, it was really good.
Next time we'll be looking obviously for the Premier League build up for the weekend and the Europa League fixtures and and results. Yeah, I think that was good fun today. Thank you guys for that.
We should sign off there.
And hope to see you soon. Please like and subscribe and share
Social
your comments.
Will be in the link in
the
bio.
And if you want to ask us any questions or topics to go and discuss in later episodes, please let us
know
below.
Instagram.
We'll be very, very friendly in our comments.
Anyway, guys, signing off now.
I hope you enjoyed.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching.
In a bit.